So I guess first off, how's practice going, and then you're heading out of town?
Yeah, the practice it's gone really well. The first phase we finished on Friday. Then there was the mandatory 3 days off that the CBA and the MLS demand of all the players, which has freshened them up. And now we're into the home straight before the start of the season. I think there's a refocus. There's an added bit of competition there for the players. You saw it in the training this morning. That they're all knowing now. They're all sniffing the first game of the season against Colorado. So they're all fighting for that place in the starting 11, and I think the competition is good. I think the standard of play has been really good. Their attitudes has been fantastic, and we just need to keep working hard. The players know that we've still got a lot of work to do, but I'm really pleased with where we're at this stage of the season.
What's your goal going into your trip out of town here? I mean, with the team, what are you looking to get out of everybody?
Well, I think the main focus is playing against opposition. We've played two in-house games. We've played a game against Phoenix, which was really good exercise. The players have worked really hard, but now it's about seeing the players against MLS opposition in a competitive game, and I think that's what we'll see. We've got two Eastern Conference teams in Chicago and NYC. We play San Jose on the Wednesday. So I think coming out of those 3 games, I think I'll have a clear indication about where we are, what we need, and who's ready for the starting 11 for the first game of the season.
Coach, you come from a experience in Miami, and I wanted to ask you: are you surprised by the talent in Portland?
I think the level of talent, the level of depth has been absolutely sensational. I've got to say, I think the squad that's been built here, the players that we've been brought in, that's added to the squad already. I think we've got a really good squad of players, and I think talented bunch of young players as well. And we've got some academy players coming through that are pushing really hard. So I'm really pleased. I think there's still 2 or 3 more pieces of the jigsaw to put together. But I think we're in a really good place. I think there's a lot of hard work being done behind the scenes, and I think I'm really excited about what the next month brings.
All right, thank you.
Phil, you mentioned those 2 or 3 that you feel you still need to have come in. What's the status on those DP players, and with Claudio's injury, is fullback another position that you guys feel you need to strengthen?
Yeah, well, we've got good depth in the. We've got good depth on the roster to cover for Claudio's injury. We're looking for probably 2, maximum 3 players to be added to the squad. Obviously, one of them is a DP, and like I said before, there's some outstanding work being done. I think we're in a brilliant position. We've got the ownership's backing to go out there and bring in a real top DP. And I think over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think there'll be some exciting news coming our way. I think we're a club now that's got some outstanding processes. We've added some new staff to make sure that these are big decisions now. You look at the money that's been spent around, particularly the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference now, is that you need to get these signings right, and that means you've got to do your due diligence, your scouting, your recruitment, and that's what we're doing. And I feel as if with the processes that we've got in place, we're in a great position. And it's nice when you've got the ownership's backing to go out there and bring in the players that you want. And I think over the next 2 or 3 weeks, the Timbers Army, I think we'll be really pleased with who we bring in.
What's been your impression of living in Portland so far? Like how just kind of that adjustment and compared to what you're used to?
Yeah, I think when you make any move to any different part, I've made 4 or 5 different moves. The first month is an absolute whirlwind. We were living in an hotel. The snowstorm came in. We were almost barricaded in our hotel room for 3 or 4 days, and then I'd say the last 2 or 3 weeks we've moved into our place, and it's just felt like home, I've got to say. And I think when people keep sort of like, because I've come from Miami, people keep apologising for the weather, but actually I'm from Manchester, and in Manchester this is like a summer's day. I'd be having my vest on here sunbathing, so it just feels like home. It does for all my family. The way I walk downtown, I walk around Lake Oswego. I was in Happy Valley yesterday with my wife. It's just that the way I've been received, the way my family's been received has been incredible. And that there's not many places you go to that within the first 3 or 4 weeks you can say this feels like home, and Portland is one of those places. And we're hoping to be here for a long time. And what I do when I go to places, I put down roots, I commit fully, and that's what we've done. And super happy. I think my wife and my daughter's gone to University of Portland, and she's just fallen in love with that place. So if she's happy, I'm happy.
Given the manner in which this team missed the postseason the last 2 years, do you feel a different sort of sense of urgency ramping up the season than you felt in seasons past?
Well, I think there's got to be an acceptance that the last 2 seasons for this club wasn't good enough. I think you think about 6th place gets you in the playoffs, then last year the top 9 get you in the playoffs. I think the aim is for this club to return to where it belongs, I feel, that's qualifying for the playoffs. And I think once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. And so there is an incredible determination. I think you can see that by the changes that the club have made in the last 2 to 3 months. And this club is used to winning things. You think about the 2 previous managers, Caleb and Gio. They got this team to winning MLS Cups, to MLS Cup finals. So there is a pressure and expectation there to deliver. But I wouldn't want it any other way. If there wasn't that expectation, if there wasn't that pressure, then I wouldn't want to be at this football club. And from the top, from Merritt at the top through Ned and Heather and down to the academy, everybody at this football club now wants to win, and I'm super excited. I think there's good things happening.
Coach, last summer there was a big deal made about the Leagues Cup, and Portland had a pretty rough group, which obviously back-to-back tough groups, like everything in soccer. Obviously, it's always very competitive, but as you know, one of the fan bases here in Portland is one of the best, if not the best, in the MLS, which is something that I know that you also been told and that you have in mind. They already asked you about the pressure, but I'm asking, what is your goal in the Leagues Cup?
We want to win it. I think I was speaking to Reggie and to Memo the other day about last year's 2 Leagues Cup games, and they said that the atmospheres in those games was a notch up from the MLS games. They said it was electric, and I'm super excited. We've been drawn. We've got 2 games at home. We need to win both of those games to progress through to the next round. And when this competition was announced, and I was the coach of Inter Miami, I was really skeptical. It was coming in the middle of the season, and you want to get that flow, that consistency to your schedule, and I didn't know how to think about it. And then obviously when I saw the effect of the League Cup last year, I saw the quality of the football. I saw obviously that rivalry between the 2 leagues, the competition and the quality of the Mexican league against ours. I thought that's a competition that you have to go and try and win. And I said it to the players on day one is that every competition that we're in this season, we've got to try and win the competition, whether it's the Leagues Cup, the US Open Cup, or the MLS Cup. I think it's the only way to be. It's the only mentality to have, and that's what we'll be aiming to do.
One more question.
When you take over a franchise from a coach who did have success here, but things obviously didn't work towards the end, what's your evaluation process going into, do you kind of go into the locker room dynamics and figure out what wasn't working last year, or how do you go about kind of figuring out where the team fell short last season?
Well, I always think, and I've been on the other side, I always think that it wasn't just one man's fault that last season. Gio is one of the best managers in this league, and I think everybody in this football club knows that. I've spoke to Gio, and I respect Gio so much. And like I say, I think when I came in on day one and you have meetings with the whole football club, there is obviously people that are probably blaming or making excuses or in the comfort zone. And the first thing I said to them was that this is not just one man's fault. This is a collective thing. This is the whole club. When a team fails, it's not just one person's fault. It's a collective. So I think the first thing I wanted to address on day one was that the responsibility and accountability that everybody has been culpable for the performances over the last 12 to 18 months. And I think everyone has to take responsibility for that. Everybody has to look in the mirror and say, what more could I have done? And I think I ask that question every single day of the staff and the players now is that, can you do more every single day? Nobody comes and knocks at your door and gives you an MLS Cup. Nobody comes and knocks at your door and gives you what you want. You've got to go out there and you've got to earn it. You've got to work hard at it. You've got to be together. You've got to have a nice culture. And I think that's what we're working on is that responsibility that everybody in this football club will contribute to winning football. Not just one person, not just me. If I'm doing it on my own, then we're in serious trouble. I need everybody else in this football club, from everybody in this building, from everybody at Providence Park working together, heading in the same direction. And I think when you see clubs that are successful, they have that. And so that's the aim.
Okay, we'll wrap it there. Thank you.